You're listening to the Epically Geeky Show, a place for all things geeky.
Welcome back to the Epically Geeky Show, episode number 78. I'm your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. Tonight's opening question is, when it comes to Halloween, now that you've gotten a little bit older, do you walk with the kids? Do you hand out candy? Or do you turn off the light and just hide? Lanie?
Okay. I have never actually had the full experience of handing out candy. I guess in like my neighborhood that I grew up in, maybe the last few years we lived in the house, but even then we stopped really getting trick-or-treaters after a while. Really? Yeah, so I'm not really sure. This neighborhood that I live in now, not that it's bad or anything, but I would probably turn off the lights and hide. But but my favorite thing to do now is to go with my nephews. I love going with my nephews. I got to go last year when they were Ghostbusters, and I got to dress up with them, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, I remember I specifically looked at you and said, we have four Ghostbusters.
4. Yeah, we were freaking out. I have the best picture of me holding Nick's hand while he's in his little Ghostbuster costume, and we're walking together, and it is the sweetest thing in the world. I love it. So I enjoyed it so much that I'm considering coordinating my outfit with Nick this year as well. So
you pretty much have to at this point because he's looking forward to that. I
know. I'm gonna go find fabric this week.
Good deal. So Kris, do you normally go with the kids, hide, hand out candy, or turn off the lights and hide?
I've done all of those things. So before we had kids, we handed out the candy because there was no reason for us to go trick-or-treating. And when they were little, you only go out for like 15, 20 minutes, and they're done. So you go back in, and then you hand out candy for the rest of the night. And then now that they're older, what we do is we go, because we live in the middle of nowhere, there's no kids here. So we go to our old neighborhood that we used to live in. And it's now filled with a lot of young families. So it's busy. So we just do the block, and the kids get tons of candy. So what we do is we just walk with them, and they go up and do it and say trick or treat. So that's fun. And then this year they're doing something a little different. Logan's going to go with her friends. So just drop her off with her buddies and hope for the best. I don't know what Quinn's going to do. So
I remember.
So we'll just shut the lights off and hide because nobody will be here.
Gotcha.
No kids here.
Yeah, we used to before we had the kids. Christy and I would hand out candy, and then as the years progressed, and especially when we got Ruby and Max, our Basset Hound and Yorkie, we had costumes for them. So we would put the baby gate up, like we had a baby gate for them in the backyard. But we would put it up at the front door so that we could basically open the door and the dogs could come greet the kids. And of course, the kids loved that and everything. And then you're right. But whenever the kids were small, like when they first were getting mobile, I had made these costumes for them that were Thomas and Percy, and they were pretty big. They were made out of cardboard, and I've actually got a video for it up on the site. And it kind of limited their mobility, which was nice because, didn't have to worry about them like running off or whatever. But yeah, we pretty much I think the first year we made the street, and that was about it. They were worn after that. The second year we actually made the block. And then last year was the first year that they actually, they were mobile enough and actually had something that wasn't weighing them down, being, their Ghostbuster costumes. And we actually made the whole neighborhood, which was really cool. This year,
Aunt Lanie went, and Aunt Lanie doesn't mess around with trick or treating, so
that's true too. So we went around the group, and that was a lot of fun. This year, it looks like our little group will consist of a Ghostbuster, a fire truck / fireman. That's going to be Alex, Luigi. Nicholas is going to be Luigi. Originally, they were starting off being Mario and Luigi, but Alex changed his mind. And Aunt Lanie may be coming as Princess Peach. So they keep telling me, "Daddy, you should be Bowser," and I'm like,
That's what I said.
I don't have time to make that costume because if I did it, I'd want to make it out of foam.
I told them, I said, would you like it if Daddy was Bowser and Mommy was Yoshi? And they thought that was a great idea.
Oh, whatever. I'm sure. Yeah, Mommy is anything is not going to work out. Mommy does not dress up. So, of course, now I'm wondering if there is a costume on Amazon for Bowser. I may have to look that up during the show. Anyway,
there is. I found it already.
Oh,
okay. Well, I will look it up and just see. Anyway, it has to meet approval.
Found it for you.
That being said, as you can tell, it's the Halloween season. If you're listening to this later on, if not, you're listening to it live, in which case it's Halloween, or at least it's October. So that being said, I wanted to talk about our favorite Halloween things. We've already done this before with Christmas. We talked about last year our favorite Christmas things, the movies that we watch, the TV shows, the songs, the stuff that we do to get in the spirit for the season. And I wanted to do the same thing for Halloween. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Now, originally, I started off as mainly just being media, anything you watch, listen to, read, whatever. But we may expand that just kind of depending. So I can already tell you my list is probably going to be a lot shorter than these two ladies because they're definitely our resident Halloween personnel. I almost said Halloween queens, but I don't know if that quite works out.
Yes, Hello Queen.
Yeah.
Halloween queen. I like that. That's not bad. Anyway, trademark. Yeah. So with that said, who would like to go first?
I can go.
I want to hear what Kris has got.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So what is something that you watch, read, listen to, do, whatever to get you in the spirit for Halloween?
So I'll just do TV shows first.
Okay.
Is The Simpsons Halloween specials.
Nice.
The Treehouse of Horror.
Yes, Treehouse of Horrors every single year. We watch them first, and then depending if they're really scary or not, we let the kids watch. This year, we'll probably just let them watch it without us seeing it first. But yeah, I like them. I like my favorite one. I don't usually bust out laughing with them, but my favorite one is when Homer got bit by that spider, and then he couldn't talk, and all he could do was communicate through farting. Oh my God.
I don't remember that. That's got to be one of the later.
It's a newer one, but yeah, I don't know how many times I've watched that over again. It's freaking hilarious.
My favorite one of those is still, and it's probably one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons ever, is Treehouse of Horror 4, I believe. And it was the 3 episodes were The Devil and Homer Simpson, where he goes to hell. And there's that famous scene of them giving him all the donuts, and they're like, "We ran out of donuts."
Yeah.
Terror at 5.5 feet, where there's the goblin on the side of the bus.
Oh, that one! I hate that one.
I love that one, especially that part where he's in that do or die battle with the goblin, and Homer pulls up and just goes, "Hey, boy," and like does an air honk and just drives off like nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And then the devil. Bart Simpson's Dracula.
That one's a good one. That's a classic.
I don't know if it's the best part, but like Burns flies in at one point, transforms from a bat into, the Dracula, and he goes, well, if it isn't little boy, because you can't remember his name. Grandpa Simpson running in, we have to kill the boy. You knew Bart was a vampire? Bart's a vampire. Oh, he's just going to kill him for no reason.
Yeah.
I adore that episode of The Simpsons. That season was just phenomenal anyway.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that was one of the better seasons.
Yeah. So I'm being told in the chat room I should be Link. I've actually kind of thought about it'd be a heavyset Link. Maybe I could be an older Link. I don't know. By the way, I also found the Bowser costumes you were talking about. No.
Why?
I know, like if I would do a Bowser, like I'd do it out of foam and it'd have like a big shell and it would be like
they're kind of lame. I almost
hulking
looked up
and like I'd want to make him look like big and not menacing, but anyway. Alrighty, so there's that. Lanie, what's one of the things you listen to, watch, do whatever to get ready for Halloween?
Well, I will kind of jump on to the tail end of what Kris was talking about. I like to watch just like the Halloween specials of everything that I like. Basically, okay. But one tradition that I've kind of started over the last 5 years or so is I will go back and watch all of the Halloween episodes of The Office. Because they're always the best ones. Like the one where Andy is dressed like, Oh God, George Michael. Like that's amazing.
I forgot about that.
Those are so good. The one where like Angela changes costumes midday to try to win like the coupon. But oh my God, I love that show.
Jim dresses up as nothing.
Yes. No, that's Parker. That's Parker in real life. Like 3-hole punch Jim. Like he always talks about how he wants to go as that costume. Yeah. So like I'm always down and I want to like hardcore dress up. And he's just like, I am dressed up. I'm
3-hole punch Jim.
I hate it. I hate it so much. It drives me crazy. But no, like, and I do that with Christmas too, but like the Halloween ones, anytime they have a holiday party in that stupid Dunder Mifflin office, it's just amazing.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
But no, I love to do that. I like to watch the Halloween specials really of all the shows I like. Another one that I like to do is the old Sabrina the Teenage Witch episodes. Because those were really popular when I was a kid. I love that show. I'm obsessed with that show. I still watch that show today. But I will go back and watch all the Halloween episodes because they're so stupid. Like there's one where they make too much candy corn and like the house floods with it. Like it's ridiculous. I love it. And like 10,000 Maniacs comes out and plays because it's 1995 and that's a big deal. And I love it so much. Yeah, that's always my jam. I like to go back and watch those Halloween specials because it's always just fucking awesome. There's one where like Valerie comes over to her house and thinks it's a costume party and she's like a duck. Oh my God. Like it's classic TGIF moments, guys.
I miss TGIF.
I do too.
Oh, TGIF.
Same. And Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, a little One Saturday Morning in there. Those always had some good Halloween specials too.
Yes. Yep.
The chat room is saying I could, like I said, could go as Link. They're giving me some different options. Someone said I could go as Psy. Born Distracted said I could dress as Psy, and I'm just thinking that would be hilarious.
I would love that. That would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
Does that mean that I spend the afternoon trick-or-treating with you, yelling at you, calling you Marion?
Yeah.
Possibly, yes.
Yeah. And
no one would have.
God damn it. This is it.
Modern day Steven Seagal. No, I'm all right. Thank you, though. Actually, you know what would be? I could probably pull it off. I mean, I'd have to do a wig regardless, but I could also do George Lucas. I've always thought that would be an interesting.
That would be awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
You could really do that one up right too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, because I mean, it's basically just tennis shoes, jeans, flannel, and then like salt and pepper beard and hair and
just the same uninterested look on your face all the time.
And pretty much like anytime someone mentions Star Wars, just kind of like go dead in my eyes.
Yeah, just yeah.
So, all right. Well, the first thing on my list, since we're talking about television, and the fact that I actually watched it last night, we watched The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Yay!
I always managed to get that one in.
Obviously.
I know there's several other, Halloween ones that come up or whatever, but The Great Pumpkin's the one that we always tend to watch. And the reason we watched it last night is we can never seem to catch it. Usually, like, we're getting the boys ready for bed about the time it's playing. So, I just bought it on iTunes. And but yeah, they wanted to watch it. So I was like, all right, well, let's go ahead and watch it. It's funny how much of that still is okay, is still entertaining, and how much of it is just like, I don't think the kids get half of this stuff because it is so old.
I didn't understand the Red Baron thing until I was like in my teens.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But
when that point came on, they were like, he's not really flying, Daddy. Like, I'm like, yeah, I think. Do you think he's really flying, or do you think he's pretending? And they're like, no, he's pretending. Like, it wasn't even. There's like, no, the doghouse can't fly, Daddy. Okay, thanks.
All right, well, cool.
So much shiny magic in your eyes.
Are they still doing the thing where they show, because for a while ABC would show Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and then they started showing like the Toy House of, or was it Toy Story of Terror?
They tend to do that, and they did that last year.
That one's good.
Yeah, that one is. That's the one with the dinosaurs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one. That I hadn't seen that one till last year, and I was like, "Wow, this is actually really
or
good."
Wait,
like,
the
I
one
really
with
enjoyed
dinosaurs, the Christmas one. No, wait, I don't remember. I know that the Toy Story of Terror is the one where they're at the motel.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one with the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't like those other dinosaurs because Rex is my jam. So I want them all to look like Rex and act like Rex.
That's hilarious. So, all right. Well, that was my first one and like I said, we ended up watching it last night. So, what's next on your list there, Kris?
I have a bunch of movies.
Okay, go ahead. Just hit us with one.
I don't like scary movies. I hate horror movies. I don't like being freaked out. Hate it. Not even fun. So, Beetlejuice.
Oh,
nice.
That's a classic.
Beetlejuice. I feel like I'm like a little bit of Lydia. I think Quinn would not like Beetlejuice, but I think Logan would like it. But yeah, Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out when to introduce that to the boys, because I mean there are some parts on there that could be pretty scary for little people.
When they go down the underworld and there's all those, and then when the Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin transform their faces like that.
Yeah.
That's super creepy. Logan would be fine, but I don't think Quinn would. He hates out too.
I don't think I liked that movie until I was probably Quinn's age. I had seen it, but I don't think I really enjoyed it until I was Quinn's age.
Yeah, he's a bit of a
not cat. Quinn. I'm sorry, until I was Logan's age.
Yeah,
I was a lot older. It took me a minute.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't like it until I was a bit older too.
I would definitely have to sit down and watch it. I'd have to watch it beforehand to remember everything, but I'd also have to sit down and watch it with them and like probably have pauses and explain. Because here's the funny thing: they don't find Ghostbusters scary at all. The demon dogs, nothing. That doesn't bother them. Star Wars, on the other hand, for whatever reason, Darth Vader scares the crap out of Nicholas.
Quinn can't do. He could not watch the new one. The new one, he got about 5 minutes in and he was running into his room. Couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Hated it. Logan liked it, but he could anything that's creepy or ominous or he thinks it's gonna scare him, he's done. He can't do it.
That was me. I get it.
I'm like that now.
I don't like scary stuff.
I don't normally do horror stuff, but I've heard enough buzz that I'm like, I might go watch the new It. I don't know.
Absolutely not.
He said it was just creepy. He didn't say it was scary or anything like that. He said I could probably watch it. I'm like, I don't believe you. So I'm just like,
pass.
Hard pass for me.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I just.
What's next on your list, Lanie?
I'm gonna go with a movie too, and I'm gonna go with my favorite Halloween movie of all time, which is Hocus Pocus.
I knew that was coming up.
I've never seen that ever.
What?
No, I've never seen it.
Kris, you could have. Oh, you should have told me. We could have watched it while you were here. I love it so much.
It looks great.
I love it so much. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. I'm wearing a shirt with it on it right now. Actually, see. I'm
gonna be honest with you, Lanie. I don't know if I've seen it. If I have, I don't remember much of it. Like I said. I don't know if I've seen it, and I think if I have, it's only been bits and pieces.
Well, it's great. It's comedy. It's suspense. It's a talking cat. It's everything that I like.
It's a talking cat.
Oh my god, and he's so cute. Murray almost got named Thackeray Banks, but he's not brave enough. So then I almost named him Salem.
Oh, there you go.
But then Salem would fit him because he's a snarky asshole. But Murray works very well. But Mercat, my mouth. But no, I love that movie. That has been one of my favorite movies since I was like 3. I mean, I remember seeing it on like the Disney Channel when it would come on. And I was obsessed with it. I loved it. There was a kitty cat. And I always liked witches from a really early age. I remember I think the brother Max was like one of my first crushes when I was growing up. I love that movie. I watch it usually 5 or more times every year at Halloween. Oh yeah, I love it. And then sometimes like ABC Family or something will show it like late summer, and if I'm around, I may go ahead and watch it. But I love it so much. It's one of my favorite things to do this time of year. It makes me so happy. If I could dress up as one of the Sanderson sisters for Halloween every year, I totally would. But there's also a lot of details of that costume, and I'm not into half-ass costuming, so.
I was going to say, have you ever thought about, I'm sure you have, getting two others together so you could do the whole thing?
Oh, no. Like, me and Peter have already had this conversation. It would be me and Peter and Shaquille, and theirs would be gender-bent ones, and mine would be just normal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but we can't decide who would be who.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Well, no, because it's not even, it's like I think you would make a good Winifred, but then you're also a really good Sarah, and then you're also a good, we just can't, we can't decide. It's a problem. So, but I love it. In fact, I was talking to Peter the other day because he was at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party the other night, and I asked him, I was like, what if one year you and I went as Max and Danny, the brother and the sister? And he was like, I would be super into that. So that might be the next costume I have to work on, is a Danny costume. Because let's be real, she's like the little sister, and she's annoying and dresses up as a witch and finds a stray black cat and wants to keep it. And who does that sound like?
In the chat room, they were asking, maybe start with watching the Beetlejuice cartoon first, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
Oh my God, that's what I saw first. I saw the Beetlejuice cartoon first, and then I watched the movie because I remember it used to come on all the time on TV, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is horrifying. I don't like this at all." So.
And then they brought up, isn't there a Beetlejuice remake coming? And I don't know if it was a remake. They were talking about doing a sequel, but I know nothing's happened on that front.
It's dead in the water.
I wish because someone had photoshopped these. Oh, they would have been. That was phenomenal. These phenomenal like mock-up posters for a second Beetlejuice.
I saw those.
And I was just like, oh my God! Like especially with how Keaton is right now, because he's fucking on fire, and I would love to see him step back into that role. So,
they're doing a new Hocus Pocus. They're doing like a new take on Hocus Pocus.
I saw that, and of course, I immediately thought of you.
Disney's giving me a lot of stuff that I don't want lately, so I don't know how I feel about it.
Welcome to Psy and Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't need this. I'm okay, but thanks. Like,
Born Distracted said I could go as Beetlejuice. Oh, that's a costume I never thought about doing, but my God, that would be awesome. Anyway,
that's a pretty easy costume.
I would think so.
Yeah, it would be. The hardest part would be getting your the face makeup done.
Yeah.
I could do that easy.
All right, my next one on my list, I've actually got 3 movies. The first movie is every year this time of year I watch the original 1968 version of Night of the Living Dead. I still find it to be one of the like I said, I don't do horror. Now, by today's standards, it's not scary at all. But I still find it I won't say terrifying, not like I get like, chills or anything watching it. I get in the mindset of what would I do in that type of situation. And one of the reasons I love it so much is now we're talking about a movie made in 1968. Have either of y'all seen it?
Yes.
I've seen, I think, I've seen bits of like a small snippet of it when I was a kid.
Okay.
I think I've seen it, and now I'm wondering if I've seen something different.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ask Parker. I don't know.
Black and white.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is black. It is black and white.
Cemetery scene.
Yes, that's actually the opening of the movie.
Okay, so I accidentally saw that. I think I was like 6.
Oh, okay, yeah. Couple funny stories about that. But yeah, one of the reasons I love it so much is it is the birth of the modern zombie. That's the first movie what George Romero did, and that's where we got most of our zombie stuff from. Slow walking, rambling. But 1968, one of the main characters is a black man. The only person who acts with and honestly to me, the most likable, realistic character in any horror movie ever is still Ben. And the fact that he was a black man in a 1968 movie still blows me away, but it's just, he was smart. Everything he did made sense. he, it wasn't this, if he risked something, there was, it was because it had to be done, or there was definite reward, unlike most, horror movies where it's like, oh, there's a sound, maybe I'll go check it out. And it's like, no, fuck that. But the funny story about it is it's actually the first movie my parents ever saw on a date. There was a drive-in theater here in Killeen. It's no longer there, as you can imagine. Right next to the Killeen Cemetery.
Oh, that's good.
That's everything I have ever wanted.
And then, and apparently, the way my mom tells it, every so often while they're watching the movie, my dad would go, "What's that in the back seat?" And I'm like, and you dated him still? Because knowing you, I don't see you being like, you would have been like, nope, fuck that, I'm gone.
I would have punched somebody in the throat and then walked away.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, Jurassic Park still freaks my mom out from time to time to this day. So, she does not do suspense or horror or anything like that. So, but yeah, every year I watch Night of the Living Dead, the original '68 version. The remake is a modern take on it and fast zombies, and I understand it is what it is, but that original '68 version I just love it. So, what's next on your list there, Kris?
Just keep going with the movies.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So this one came out when I was in high school, and it's kind of ridiculous, but it says it's like a snapshot of what kind of movies were coming out at that time. The Craft.
Oh, yes.
So I was 14 or 15 when that came out, and it was like super big. There was a girl in my high school who like lived it. Like, she wanted it so bad to be real. Like, she went like full blown witch. And
Yikes! Did she have those like pointy boots and shit too?
Yeah, pardon?
Did she have those like pointy boots and shit too?
She did not do the Fairuza Balk, but she was more of a Robin Tunney type of witch. But she wanted it to be real. She wanted the coven. But anyways, I just love it. I think it's just because it came out when I was 15 and I thought it was cool, and I like magic movies. I like different takes on witches, and so it's kind of cool. And Fairuza Balk, she plays crazy really, really well.
Accurate.
Oh,
she's Wiccan in real life.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I did know that. But she's really. I like the movie. I just thought it was really cool, and maybe when Logan's older, she'll be able to see it. But yeah, it's like anybody my age, like any ladies who are around 35, we all have fond memories of watching The Craft in high school, and like maybe for 5 seconds in the back of your head, like, I wonder.
This could be fun.
This could be cool. We could do that. Be all right.
Maybe I'm one of the weirdos too. I love it.
Well, and I've
awesome.
always, yeah. And I could kind of relate to not being that kind of an outcast, but wanting to hang out with like a little group of weirdos.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, Lanie, what's next on your list?
Again, I'm gonna kind of jump on Kris's coattails here. I like to watch Practical Magic this time every year.
Oh,
I love that movie.
That's one of Ray's favorite movies.
It's a great movie.
Yeah. Oh, he has a massive crush on Sandra Bullock in that movie. Like, it's
because she's just freaking fine in that movie. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I love. Yes, that's such a good movie. That is one of my favorite takes on witches, like in film. I think that is my favorite kind, because they are just kind of these. There's two eccentric old ladies that live in this big, beautiful house, and they grow all their plants. And it's funny because a lot of the like magic that they talk about is stuff that a lot of us kind of just grow up with in the back of our head, like always being told, like planting rosemary here and like hanging this by your garden gate and this, that, like that's all just normal, like old, like housewife stuff. You know what I mean? That you just hear. I don't know. I love that movie. That I want to live in that house so bad. I want to dress like Sandra Bullock dresses in that movie. I love it so much. And I love the little girls in it too. Like it's so good. It's such a cool take on witches, like in the modern day. And the book is really good too. I don't know if you guys have read it.
Not yet. No,
I haven't.
I love it. I've probably read it like 6 or 7 times. I love it so much. The description too of the house in that book is one of my favorites because they talk about like how the windows are so like this deep like green sea glass and you can't see through them. You can only see out of them. I love it. They always talk about all the black cats that they have and how they would like follow the girls to school. I love it so much. It's so good. And I love that the girls live in the attic. It's so cool. But yeah, it's a great movie. I watch that one a lot too. Witches are kind of my thing. I like that aspect of Halloween. So, but I think when I was a kid, I think I just really wanted to be a witch. Not in like a weird, creepy way, but like the way like a lot of little girls do. Stop it. The way a lot of little girls do. You know, you go out into the woods and you find like different plants and you think you can make a potion, and it's just, you know. But I love it. It's so good.
Gotcha.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock is hot on that.
Yeah, she is.
My next one is still zombies because you know I dig the whole zombies thing. But is definitely on the lighter side.
I know it.
Shaun of the Dead.
I knew it.
Every year I have to watch Shaun of the Dead. It's just number one. I fucking love. You know, those guys, everything they've done together. I love, I adore. The Cornetto trilogy is just almost perfect in my eyes. But yeah, Shaun of the Dead was like hit me so hard when it first came out. I was just, what is this? It's a romantic comedy with zombies. This is great. So
it can be done and can be done well.
Yeah. As they refer to it, you know, the first ever Zom rom-com, and I'm just like, of course y'all do, because y'all are awesome. But yeah, every year I have to watch it. Christy's not, I mean, she doesn't really do, you know, it's got zombies. She's watched part of it. I think the only reason she kind of kept watching it, and every so often will come in and dip in is the soundtrack, because she loves Queen, and you know, that's pretty much the soundtrack for that movie. So, which is, you know, you look at their at Edgar Wright's movies, and so much of it, I mean, Baby Driver pretty much just is the definition of, you know, music, you know, driving the movie, pun intended. But it just, you know, it fits so well into that movie. In fact, it's to the point that, like, when I hear Queen, that's the scenes that I think, that's what I think of, is the scenes from that movie, because it's there. So, but yeah, Shaun of the Dead is the second of the 3 movies that I have to watch every year. So, what's next on your list, Kris?
The Addams Family.
Yes.
Both.
Yes.
Because it came out, I think I'm like a year younger than Christina Ricci, so I think it came out when I was a kid, and I just loved it. I just loved how weird and creepy the family was, and I didn't quite understand how a family was like the whole family was like. I'm like, people like that really exist? And I just thought their house was awesome, and I loved Thing, and yeah, I just thought it was really, really cool. And then a little bit older when the second one came out, and I liked the whole summer camp thing, because I went to camp when I was a kid, and I thought that was fun. And then now that I'm older and realize how much my husband and I are like Gomez and Morticia, and my kids are Wednesday and Pugsley, and it's just and I like watching them watch it, because it's awesome. And I've always loved that movie and that whole family. And I've watched a little bit of the older ones from the 50s and 60s. And then there used to be an Addams Family cartoon.
There was an Addams Family cartoon, because I used to watch it religiously on Saturday mornings. Again, that was how because like Beetlejuice and the Addams Family, both of those, I watched the cartoons and Ghostbusters. I watched the cartoons first, and then I saw the actual movies. Addams Family and Beetlejuice both kind of scared me when I first watched them, because I was pretty little. But then as I got a little bit older, I was like, oh, no, this is like my fucking jam. I'm into this. This is weird. It's creepy, and I love it. Oh, hello, Murray.
It's creepy enough that it's not threatening or scary or anything. It's just a little odd.
It's creepy and it's spooky.
Yeah. The Addams Family.
That's right.
Yeah. And I love the theme song.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the theme song is great, and I love the fact that we use it to teach kids like all
Days
this
of the
other
week.
stuff.
We sing
Days of the
that
week,
every single day in my classroom because that's our Days of the Week song. And when we do calendar, we sing it while the person is changing the days of the week.
Uh-huh.
And it's because I love Halloween, and that's why we do it.
Well, that's what the boys learned while they were at their, at their previous school was, Days of the Week. Days of the
Days
week.
of the week.
Yep.
Days of the week. Days of the week. Days of the week.
Yeah, but I need to go back and watch that first movie again. I don't really remember the second one that much, but the first one, I remember watching it, and of course, this is before because it was a lot. It was different than the original show, so to me it was like, why is this so weird and different? But then it still had its own charm to it, and yeah.
Angelica Houston is like the most beautiful woman alive.
Oh, she is. Oh my God, Angelica Houston's Morticia.
Born to play Morticia.
Yes, she's gorgeous in that movie.
I was gonna say Raul Julia was fucking phenomenal.
That too, and it broke my heart when he died.
Yeah,
kind of broke my heart when Street Fighter was his last movie.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Please don't bring that up. That's a horror movie right there.
But him and Angelica Houston together, they had such amazing chemistry, and it was just so beautiful. And I love Christopher Lloyd in it as Fester. And
yes,
that's my favorite.
When the kids first watched it, we were like, "Hey, look, that's Doc Brown," and they're looking at us like, "No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Weirdo.
That can't be Doc Brown."
Creeper with a light bulb in his mouth."
Yeah, that tripped Quinn out. He's like, "What? How do you do that?" I'm like, "I don't know."
I love Cousin Ed.
Yeah,
so good.
I like how everybody can understand him.
Yeah,
I love movies that do that, where the person is speaking or the whatever creature speaking a completely different language, and everybody else is just.
Oh, I'm so sorry that I love that.
Yeah, that's one of the best parts about Guardians of the Galaxy is the debates between Rocket and Groot.
Groot, I know.
Yes, you can't just say. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, but the second one, they all know now what he's saying, and they could pick up on it, and
yeah,
which
is funny in its own right. But the fact in that first one is just like it's like, okay, this is definitely because you didn't know how that was going to work, and it's like, okay, this is definitely a Han and Chewie situation between a raccoon and a tree. But it's all right, cool, let's roll with it. So
accurate, and I love it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's next on your list, Lanie?
Well, next on my list, this isn't a movie. It's like a TV show, and you'll have to excuse me. I have a Halloween colored dog who's trying to get my attention.
Yes. Hello, Dingo.
She is hello, but I like haunted stuff. I really like. I don't like haunted houses, but I like houses that are haunted.
Gotcha.
I feel like I always have to explain to people because we're like, oh, you want to go to Scream? No. I don't. I don't want anybody getting in my personal space.
Oh, no.
As the dog is doing so right now.
This is different. This is love. But, I don't like actual haunted houses, but I love, you're going to have to go. But I love, the stories that usually come behind like places that are haunted. Mm-hmm. I think that's really interesting. There's usually some kind of like a historical aspect of it. And coming from Houston, like there's a ton of haunted places in Galveston because of the Great Hurricane of 1900. So we've got a ton of that. But I love to watch those I don't like to watch like ghost hunters and those broskies and like affliction shirts that like lock themselves in like an insane asylum all night. That's stupid. I like to watch where they go and they like interview these locals that have like no idea what they're talking about, and they interview them about like these crazy stories. And there used to be one, and I think I found the name of it, but it was called like Haunted America or something like that. And it was
yes, I know which one you're talking about.
It was like a special on the Travel Channel, and it had like the creepiest narrator. Yes. Oh my God. I love that.
It was very well done. I have to say that.
Yes. I will find him on YouTube, and it's like, it's so stupid. He's like, but that wasn't the only thing that checked in. Like, it's so ridiculous. It sounds like Tom Haverford is like narrating it. I love it so much. It's so stupid, but I love it because it always tells really good stories, and they always have a lot of really good ones from like Texas and from Louisiana, because Louisiana is like stupid haunted.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, I love going back and watching that. In fact, that's probably what I'm going to do after the show.
Okay.
But I love stuff like that because it's just interesting to me. I like to find out, and I don't even know if I 100% believe in ghosts, but I love finding out about haunted stuff. It kind of feeds into my whole like true crime obsession and all that kind of good stuff. So
yeah,
Eugene's like, yeah, I've listened to that fucking podcast. It was insane.
It was entertaining. I will say that it was not a bad podcast.
Super entertaining. I found a new one about cults.
Of course you did.
I find cults very fascinating. Cults
so does Christy.
They are, yes. It's amazing. Anyway, but yeah, Haunted America, go look it up on YouTube and just sit back with some popcorn and just enjoy watching some yokels tell you some really hilarious tales about haunted ex-brothel or whatever the place is. Oh God. And it's always something ridiculous now. So it's like, now it's a B&B. It's like, do you tell people it's haunted when they check in, or like?
See, I think that would actually be a draw for most people, you know?
Not me. I won't stay the night. I want to explore. I don't want to invite any bad vibrations. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, listen, I'm going to check in. I'm only going to be here until about 6, maybe 7 o'clock at night. I'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Yes. Cool.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to put myself in a position where the ghost that may or may not be there feels like I'm testing them. Because you know what, girl, you mastered this world and you're mastering the next one. So I'm just going to respect. That's fine.
Gotcha.
No problem.
The next one on my list, way before I ever got into, wearing the costume and going to the events, is Ghostbusters. As you can probably guess. I've always loved the movie. It's just, I don't have to go into it too much, but it's like I said, there are 3 movies every year that I just have to watch. And that's Night of the Living Dead, the original 68 version, Shaun of the Dead, and Ghostbusters. The other one that I usually try to squeeze in, I don't always get it in though, is
that's what she said.
Boom. I was waiting for someone to say it. And I don't own it, which is why I don't always get to watch it, is Zombieland. That movie cracks me up.
Movie.
It is such a good movie. And the fact that I did not see it in the theater still is like, why? How did I miss this in the theater? I did not see it in the theater. I didn't see it until like much later, and then watched it. I was like, oh my God, this movie is great. How have I not seen this movie? But yeah, Zombieland. Like I said, I try to get, if I can, I just need to break down and buy it. And problem is every time I think about buying it, it's like around this time of the year. So of course they've jacked the price up a little bit. I guarantee like if it was February, I could probably buy it for like, the HD quality version for like $6 or $5 or whatever. But now I guarantee if I go to try to find it, and be like, no, we'd like $14.99 for it. And I'm like, oh, I ain't doing that. Yeah. So yeah. What you got anything else on your list, or you got tons of stuff still on your list?
I have a crap ton of stuff on my list.
All right, well, let's keep going.
I got a lot. Okay, so just to round out the movies, I'll just shoot off the 2 that I had. I had Edward Scissorhands and Warm Bodies, because I do not traditionally like zombie movies. I don't like World War Z and like Walking Dead. I don't like any of that stuff. But Warm Bodies, I like how it's a take on Romeo and Juliet. And then I just love Edward Scissorhands, so those are just classics.
The best Johnny Depp role.
I think so. He's
very lovable in that.
He's sweet, and it's so quirky and weird, and I love Diane Wiest. I watch a lot of it for Diane Wiest, and just the way that she interacts with Edward's, like Johnny Depp.
I need to watch that again. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I just love it. I don't even care about the love story. I just like how Diane her character, she's just so sweet, and she doesn't care that he's got scissors for hands and that he's a disheveled little weird man. She just thinks he's great.
And I like when he grooms the dogs.
Oh yeah.
That's my favorite. I don't know why, I just love it. He gives all the ladies weird haircuts.
Yeah,
Of course.
and when Homer does that in The Simpsons, and yeah, it's funny.
So good.
Yeah, so those are the movies that I had. That was it.
I couldn't come up with any other movies.
I have a bunch
Really?
of too.
Well,
Really?
because Chris named a lot of the ones that I watch.
Okay, so I know you're probably not in the chat room, but I totally, like, someone mentioned a movie, and I totally was just like, oh, just wait, Lanie will bring it up. Lanie
Which
will bring
one?
it up. And now here's the question. I don't know if you consider this and I know I'll give it away as soon as I say it.
Oh,
So
I know what it
you
is.
consider
I know
it
what
a
is.
Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
Hold on. I know what you're talking about, and I can't believe I didn't write it down. Probably because I was like, oh, I'll remember this. Nightmare Before Christmas. You bet your ass. That's an all year round movie.
Oh.
Okay? There is no right or wrong time.
I was going to say, do you consider it a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie?
I consider it a Halloween.
None of the above.
None of the
It's a
above,
Halloween
really.
movie.
The limit does not exist, but I will watch it primarily at Halloween because I love Halloween Town. I love
oh yeah,
that's my favorite. Like I think that I don't like the Christmas part of it. I think that's dumb, but I love the way that Halloween looks in that movie. I love it. I love the style of that movie. And here's the funny thing is I am not a big Tim Burton fan. Weirdly enough, I didn't
That is
really
a little weird from you.
Yeah, I didn't really fall in love with that movie until I was a lot older, like 17, 18, because when I was a kid, it freaked me out. Really, really little, like 5.
Yeah, our kids do not like it at all.
Yeah. And when I was in junior high and early high school, all of the emo kids really liked it. And I was like, all right. And then when I got a little bit older and really understood the art that went into it and the style of it and the design and everything, I fell in love with it. I love that movie. I love the characters. I love Sally. When I was working at Disney World, we got to go to the Halloween party and I got to meet Jack and Sally and I lost my mind. I was so excited. It was one of the best character interactions I've ever had. I got to meet Oogie Boogie too, and I totally lost my shit. But I love that movie. I watch that every year, and I watch it. I usually start at Halloween and then I don't stop until after Christmas.
Oh dear.
Well, and the thing about it too is when I'm watching it at Christmas, all I'm doing is pining for Halloween. I just that's all I'm doing is God, I wish it was still October. Because Christmas, I enjoy Christmas, but Christmas isn't as much of my thing. I really Halloween is my favorite.
Yeah, mine too.
I get a lot more enjoyment out of it. So, but I love that movie. It's just so beautiful. It really is so creepily beautiful. And the animation is done so well. And I love Danny Elfman, singing as Jack. And it's just so good. I love it. Molly, do you think we should dress you up as Sally?
Oh, Lord.
She says yes.
Hello, Molly the dog.
She wants to be on the show too.
She always does. Well, the only other media thing that I had was video games. And I don't always play the same one every year, but if I have time, I'll try to sneak in playing a little bit of one of the older Castlevania games. And I love those games, but they've got everything in them. You're specifically fighting Dracula, but you come across Frankenstein, you come across zombies, you come across mummies, you come across werewolves, Medusa, everything you could think of, within that type of, that realm of horror type stuff. Now, granted, 8-bit pixelation, not scary at all, but it's just the music on it's really good as well. And like I said, and I don't always pick the same one. Some years I'll be like, oh, I'm going to go play the first one, or I'll play the third one, or I'll even, drop back and play the second one or whatever. But, yeah, I love those games. I've always loved those games, and I do kind of always associate them with Halloween. So, I always usually try to bring one out, play one at least, for a little while or whatever. Even if I don't go through all the way and beat it, I usually play at least one of those for a little bit. So, because they're a ton of fun still. So. All right. What's next up on your list, Chris?
Well, I'll say I had some songs, so I'll just do all of them. There's only 3 of them. Well, 4. So on the radio, our radio stations, they have like a Monster Weekend or whatever, and they play all the Halloween themed songs. The biggest ones they play are Monster Mash, One-Eyed One-Horned Flying Purple People Eater, and the Time Warp. Which I love the Time because I know all the actions. And then when I was as a kid growing up, every year in French class around Halloween time, we do French Halloween songs. The only one I remember it's called C'est Halloween, and there's clapping and stuff. And then when I was writing it down, I actually had to ask Logan if I wrote it down right. But yeah, so those are all the songs I remember that only come out during Halloween.
Right.
And I know all the words to them.
Well, Ghostbusters is pretty much a year-round thing for me now. So, it used to mainly be around Halloween, but now it's just like, no, whatever. Just throw it on. Almost. So, what else you got for us, Lanie?
I do that too. I've got a whole Halloween playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a lot, obviously, from Nightmare Before Christmas, because the "This Is Halloween" song at the beginning is just my jam.
Rocking out.
Yes, I get really excited every time I hear it. But I love that. I have a lot of it's almost like that kind of 60s surf rock style of music, but it's all creepy themed. I have a whole playlist of that. I have some stuff, some more modern stuff that's kind of Halloween themed. And then I listen to a lot of that just because I can. It makes me happy. It puts me in a spooky mood. I listen to a lot of the music from the Haunted Mansion, the actual attraction. I have audio of the actual ride through, the audio from the attraction. I listen to that because I love the ghost host. And I love his monologue. I can recite it. I love it. But yeah, it makes me very, very happy. So I like stuff like that. It puts me very much in the spirit. I like it. It's creepy and spooky and weird. So just like me. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah, if you don't ever listen to the Haunted Mansion audio, you're missing out because it's fucking awesome. Your cadaverous pallor betrays an aura of foreboding. That's some of the best writing anyone's ever done, ever. I don't care who you are. It's amazing. So it's all Sentenzio. But yeah, good stuff.
The only other, I didn't even have it on my list, and I just thought about it now. The only other thing audio, music wise or anything like that I listen to around this time, of course, is also Thriller. You got to throw Thriller in there. So yeah. Sure. But anyway,
we listen to that at school a lot. It's one of they use it as the attendance bell at my school sometimes on some days. So
okay.
Yeah. It's not fun. It's not great. It is very weird.
Okay,
so,
that's just
kind of weird.
Welcome.
Yeah.
All right. So, does anyone have anything other media-wise? Any books, music, TV, movies?
Goosebump books. When I was a kid, I used to read the Goosebump books by R.L. Stine.
Oh, nice.
So good.
Yeah. That was the creepiest thing I could handle at that age.
Mm-hmm.
Probably even now.
Yeah, Christy's got out the Halloween books for the boys, and what's funny is we were reading the Teacher from the Black Lagoon, and
I love it.
It was a little too much for Nick. He was kind of freaked out about it, and I'm like, it's a book, dude, but whatever. Okay, I'm not gonna. And yet they have a copy, and I have a copy of the was it the Hungry Caterpillar?
Mm-hmm.
It's the Hungry Zombie, and the Hungry Zombie goes through and eats people.
Oh.
But because we explained that zombies aren't real and this, that, and the other, the boys, once again, it's one of those weird uncanny valley things to me that it's just so Star Wars is a little too intense for you. Even the original.
Yeah.
But you're okay with me reading a book about the zombie eating,
Listen.
this,
right?
that, and the other. And but yeah. So
Logan was the same way. She's funny with what freaks her out and what doesn't, because she watched the whole season of Stranger Things, loved every second of it, but the moment that last scene with Will, with him puking up that slug, that was it. That was the one thing. And
it was a little rough, but yeah.
But everything, I'm like, that's it. That the whole thing with Barb, that is the one thing that freaked you out, and she cried and she was so upset.
Oh yeah, the thing with Barb was pretty rough. So yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Dude, that was awful.
Yeah. Yes, and it was awful, but the thing with Will affected her more. And she cried. She got really pissed off about the ending. She's like, I didn't like that.
I didn't either. I'll be honest. I didn't either. I feel like I'm still living the Barb thing.
Oh, I don't think they got to do something in season 2 to ratify that.
Yeah, it just
explain something.
Well, I just kind of kept waiting. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, surely it's coming. They found. Oh, where's Barb?
Speaking of which, I thought about this, and then it fell off my radar. And now that y'all mentioned this, I halfway thought maybe I should go back and rewatch season 1 before season 2 drops.
I think that's what we're gonna do.
May have to get on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, do you have any other things on your list? I know both of y'all said y'all have an extensive list. Any other things y'all do to kind of get ready, kind of get you in the mood for Halloween?
So my mom starts buying Halloween candy the moment it comes out in September, like the last week.
Yeah.
So she's got it and she buys a shit ton of it, like big boxes of chips. She's got little stupid candy bars. I eat 18 of them when I'm at her house.
Yes, that's horrible, isn't it?
Oh, it's bad. And she's like, have a chocolate bar. Yeah, have a chocolate. I'm like, I can't. Mom, okay, but stop buying them. But every year, without fail, she buys it like a month before Halloween and then restocks as necessary. Because my stepdad will take them to work, and she's brutal. But every year, stupid little candy bars, when you eat 4 of them, you think you're doing good, except that equals a whole chocolate bar.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So then you eat another 4 to say screw it.
Yeah.
Because you've gone that far, why not? But that's just every year. She does that.
I love that.
It's one of those things that you're just like, I do the exact same thing. Oh, I'll just have 1, and 1 turns to 2, 2 turns to 4, and it gets tricky.
You got down the rabbit hole. Why should you stop? And she's got little pumpkin glass bowls that she puts them in. She's very festive with it, and they're all around her house. She's got the guest room's just full of boxes of chips. She doesn't even get that many kids at her house. She just buys them for all of us.
I like that.
It's just been every year, you try
it's a lot.
And you're like, oh, okay, I'll eat them.
I love it.
The candy I had listed for me, I mean, yes, just whatever candy bar, whatever, but specifically I love the Reese's, peanut butter cups. They're just so good. So the boys will go out, and there's kind of depending on how much candy they bring in. The first year or so it wasn't bad because like I said, they could only go so far.
Yeah.
Last year though, we started running into the whole, oh hey, we hit the whole neighborhood. We got 2 kids, so we go through the sifting through of the candy, and there's the candy that, okay, we're going to keep this, and the rest of it, you take to work, or I'll take to work, or, whatever. And yeah.
Well, and some of it has to go towards Aunt Lanie's candy tax.
Yes.
Yep.
So
we have the parental tax. Yep.
Parental tax.
Yes.
It's not even bat an eye anymore. When they see us taking their candy, because we've just used it the entire time.
Yeah. Well, see, we usually put it in the jar, or in the bowl or whatever, and it sits there for a while, and then after they don't notice that it's depleting a little faster than it probably should. But no, I am not. Okay. By the way, Sai is in the chat room.
Oh, hello.
And they're saying maybe I should dress as Pennywise. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do the clown thing.
Absolutely not.
The only reason I would do this, and I could not do it because I don't want to scare my niece and nephew.
Well, and also,
but dressing as Pennywise and going to visit my brother would be
that would be hilarious.
Although I'm afraid he would shoot me. I'm afraid he would shoot me or club me with something.
I feel like with all of this business that when we go trick-or-treating this year, I need to be Princess Peach with a baseball bat. Because if I see a fucking clown...
Now remember that with the whole clown thing was an issue last year this time.
And if it becomes an issue again this year, I'm going to be prepared.
Well, I don't think that many people... I think that kind of died off already. But I mean, yeah, so. Yeah. So, yeah, not really down for the clown.
Oh, that was good.
Thank you. I knew you would enjoy that. So, Lanie, is there anything particular candy wise or anything that you?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
There's all the Halloween, actual Halloween candy for the most part, it kind of stays the same. It's just smaller versions and stuff. Yeah. I don't really care for the Reese's.
Really?
You know this about me. I don't like the eggs either
true.
Because I think it's too much of the peanut butter to chocolate ratio. I don't like it. It's off for me. The original Reese's for me is the perfect amount. So, but I flip shit whenever I see the Halloween Oreos on the shelf. I lose my fucking mind. I bought another bag. Yes, I bought another bag today. In fact, I was kind of bummed this year because this year they don't have things on one, pictures on one side. Last year they had pictures on one side, and I got really excited every time there was a black cat. But no, this year they're just Oreo. I know. This year it's just regular Oreos, but they have the orange cream in the middle, and they make me happy. I've been eating those since I was teeny tiny. My mom would always come home with a thing of them, and we would decorate the house. So, but I love the Halloween Oreos. They don't taste any different. They're just better because they're Halloween colored.
Yep.
But that, and then as has been previously stated on this show before, that was redundant. As has been previously stated on the show, Count Chocula is pumping through my veins.
I came this close to buying a box for the boys the other day.
Where did you see it? Where did you
Walmart.
I didn't see it.
Okay, the Walmart in Harker Heights. You go over to the grocery section, and in the kind of that center aisle, they had a huge thing. It was Count Chocula sitting right next to Blueberry.
Frankenberry and Blueberry too.
I know they had Frankenberry. I don't remember if they saw Blueberry now that I think.
Blueberry is kind of bullshit, but
yeah, we've had this discussion.
Yeah, but I like to make Frankenberry treats. Because they're fucking awesome. It's Rice Krispie treats, but it's Frankenberry instead of Rice Krispies.
Remind me what Frankenberries are?
It's Count Chocula, but it's strawberry flavored.
Okay.
But I love Count Chocula. Count Chocula is my shit. I love seasonal breakfast cereals. I don't know why. But I fucking live for Count Chocula. I haven't seen it in my local grocery store yet, and it's been making me really, really sad because I need to buy 3 boxes so that it can carry me all the way into Christmas.
Well, could you send me one? Because
sure.
I don't think I've ever actually eaten Count Chocula.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, because they had them. I probably have, and I don't remember it, but they don't really have it anymore. They don't. I mean, when you come and see, you will see how pathetic our cereal aisle really is. Because it doesn't compare to your guys.
What is it? I need to send you that, and I need to send you a box of Kicks, right?
Kicks.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who eats this family. Everybody thinks they're gross, but I love them.
They're delicious.
We may have to prepare a care package to drop.
There you go. I will trade you a box.
Coffee Crisp.
I'm going to say I'll trade you Count Chocula and Kicks for some Coffee Crisp.
For sure.
And some Maltesers.
Okay.
Oh my God. I ate some Whoppers the other day and I almost started crying.
I
was so upset. I was like, God, these are disgusting now. I was really mad.
Jesse Wolfers.
Oh man. I was so upset. I was like, God damn it. Everything sucks. So yeah, I was pretty upset.
All right. Well, next
Rating
time
up
I see the Count Chocula, I may have to at least pick up a couple of boxes. So
Thank you.
yeah. All right, let's just go ahead and wrap up real quick. Any other things that you do to kind of get you in the mood? The only other thing I had on my list was make fog. Now, originally, I had a small it was a small pond. It was a small pond out here in front of the house. The reason we got rid of it is because it was a pain to have to keep clean and everything else. But every year, once we got it, I would go buy a big chunk of dry ice and dump it in there, and it would bubble and it would smoke, and it was a lot. It was really cool. And then we switched to we have a little fountain that's in front now, and you can still drop some dry ice in there to get it to foam, fizz and foam over. Problem is you can't drop too much in, because it once the water cools down so much, it just doesn't, you don't still have the same thing. So last year I finally broke down. I've always wanted a fog machine. I bought a fog machine, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. It shoots out the fog or whatever, but it dissipates pretty quickly. So this year, if you're following my Instagram feed, or on my Facebook account or whatever, I started looking up on how to create a low-laying fog machine. So basically, you take the normal fog machine and you put it into some kind of a box. It shoots into some kind of a box, and what happens is when it blows in, it has to go through a bunch of ice or dry ice or something, and it cools it down. So when it comes out the other side, it will, stick to the ground pretty well. And I put up video and some other stuff like that. So I'm actually painting that tonight. And then we'll probably get it finished up tomorrow or whatever. So I do plan to. I have only tried it with just normal ice thus far, and it actually worked pretty well. But I do want to try it with dry ice and see if it super cools it a little bit more so that it just hangs out. I also want to do things like I want to go ahead and wet the concrete to help bring the temperature down, so hopefully it'll stick a little bit better. So I don't know what my fascination with fog is. I've always enjoyed
it looks
seeing.
cool.
Yeah, it's just, and we don't get it a lot here. Even though the other day I was driving to drop the boys off, and there was some fog, beside the road. And I was like, "Look, guys, isn't that cool?" And they're just like, "It's like clouds on the ground." I'm like, "Yes, that's exactly what it is." So, but anyway, and then someone brought up, and yes, I do enjoy carving pumpkins. I didn't really do it much before the boys were born, and now I specifically do it. And
love carving pumpkins.
Carving pumpkins to me, I started, doing the whole thing where you take, the picture or whatever, and you do the little pin pricks or whatever, so you can get, more intricate designs than just the normal face, which the normal face is fine or whatever. But I have yet to really start playing with, how people do different layers. So they'll take off just the skin, and then you kind of get you have I guess you'd say the bright completely cut out, which is usually a yellow from the light. And then you can do almost layers through the skin, so you get different tones. And I have yet to do one of those. I think I may give that a shot this year.
Ray's done that before. He
Oh
loves
my God, absolutely not.
Why not?
That's so much work for me. Absolutely not.
Well, and I know, and it only lasts for a couple of days or whatever. But the first year I did it, I did I think I did an Autobot symbol, and then I did an Apple logo, and I did a Ghostbuster last year, the Ghostbuster logo. And I know I've done, just the normal Halloween type, pumpkin faces or whatever. So, but yeah,
I did Cinderella's carriage that was being pulled by dinosaurs.
I did
That sounds awesome.
It was awesome. I did it when I worked at Disney World.
What did you say, Chris?
I did Jack Skeleton's face.
Did
Oh, that would
you?
be
Did
good.
it turn out too?
Yeah, because I got a white pumpkin.
Oh, you're smart.
Yeah, and I did it one year, and it looked really freaking cool.
That's awesome.
But we do it every year. Not so our old house, we had sort of this front stoop, so Ray would make a big production every year for it. Now that we live here and nobody's around, we really don't do much anymore. We don't carve pumpkins, but the kids really want to do it again this year, so we'll do that. But
There you go.
yeah,
so fun.
Ray gets really into it. Loves it.
Ryan suggests I 3D print a jack-o'-lantern this year, and I might do that. We'll see. Thanks for that comment, Ryan, because my pick of the week is going to be total plane to that ass. What other things do you do to get ready for Halloween, Kris?
We get the kids' costume ideas ready. They usually start as soon as Halloween's done. They start planning for the next year, but it changes like 4 or 5 times. So now they have a concrete idea of what they want. We're going to go to there's a really great thrift store about an hour away called Value Village. And every year they like specialize in reused and new Halloween stuff. So we go there every year, grab what we need. So that sort of starts it. And then, I love going trick-or-treating with the kids. Trust me, if it was socially acceptable for adults to go trick-or-treating, I would so do it. Because I did it till I was 18. And I think there's a lot of, like, I've heard so many people say, teenagers shouldn't do it past the age of 12. I'm like, listen, if you're making an effort and you have a great costume, not some stupid mask over your face, if you have a really great costume and you're coming before 8:30, I will give you candy, and I think that's great. Because I was done at 8:30, but I went till my last year of high school, and I dressed up every single year. I dress up now. We don't throw Halloween parties, but I always bug my friends to see who's throwing the Halloween party.
Yeah.
So that I could dress up. This year I'm going to be Wednesday Addams, and I don't know what Ray's going to be, but I'm excited to dress up.
Pugsley, that's an easy one. Just get him a striped shirt.
Yeah, he doesn't like that idea. And then we suggested Fester too, Uncle Fester.
Yes,
that would be hilarious.
He was Hagrid one year for Halloween, and it was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, it lasted about 10 minutes because he got so hot because we were at my friend's house. They had to take it off, but it was really good. Yeah,
that's awesome.
This week we're doing the Halloween costumes because they're always custom because the kids pick something pretty random that we can't go and either order or just buy from Walmart. So it's been custom for like since they were about 4. So always look forward to that. And Ray's really good at it. He made this really great costume out of a suede skirt, an old dinosaur costume, and cardboard. It was amazing. And it was for Quinn, and he wanted to be Dino Rang from Skylanders, and it was amazing.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Born Distracted says it's a good idea to get the kids more involved in creating a costume, ? Like a good way of family bonding. I think my boys at this point, like, okay, so this year we really had to get it nailed down, like, because they had both said Mario and Luigi, and then they kind of like, they're like, oh, well, maybe Raccoon Mario and Luigi. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Maybe, Gigi, Lanie's mom can do like, just basically the ears and the tail or whatever. And then it was like, well, maybe Fire. And I'm like, whoa. Fire Mario is drastically different than just normal Mario. Like, because it's instead of blue shirt and red shirt and blue overalls, it's red shirt and white overalls. I'm like, we got to get this nailed down. Mm-hmm. So, whereas last year, like the last couple of years, I've taken them to Toys R Us to, look at toys before Christmas. Yeah. Last year I took them, and it wasn't so much, they had already made up their minds they wanted to be Ghostbusters with Daddy and Aunt Lanie. But this year we took them to Spirit of Halloween to kind of look around, and I think I kind of want to make that a tradition for us, going to the Halloween store, because they are opening up pretty early. Like, it was open probably at least the end of September, if not mid-September, and just being like, all right, let's go ahead and pick our Halloween costume. Because my biggest thing is if they tell me they want to be something that they can't find, and I'm going to have to make it, I need lead time.
That's why we start now, so that we have time to make it and get all the pieces together. Because we've scrambled. There's been a couple years where it's like the day before, day of, and we're like taking blow dryers to weapons we've painted so that they're dry for them to go to go out. So we've done that. Yeah.
Believe me, I almost suggested when they wanted to be Mario and Luigi that I could take some very small gauge PVC pipe and make them little carts to wear on so they could be like they're driving their little carts. But I don't know if I quite wanted to go down that rabbit hole yet. So I've had a lot of shit going on right now.
That would have been cute, though.
Maybe just a little.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan suggests I should go as a giant Nintendo Switch this year. Take an HDTV, make a big Joy-Con on each side, and wear it. That might be heavier than my Proton Pack. I don't know about that, Ryan. All right, Lanie. Any other things that you do to kind of get ready for Halloween?
Obviously I eat my special Halloween foods like a fucking dork. I used to this whole process, like through this time of year, my big thing was every Wednesday night I would watch American Horror Story, but that hasn't been nearly as good, so I haven't done that for a while. Mm-hmm. But one of my favorite things, to do is to just walk through the Halloween aisle at like a Target or something. I just really enjoy it, and it usually gives me ideas for stuff that I want to do in my house. It also reminds me that my taste is very specific when it comes to Halloween. I don't like anything like too cheesy. I like kind of a vintagey look, and mostly what my decorations consist of are like bats, cats, and pumpkins. So I don't do a lot of actions because that's me. So. Why would I, But yeah, a lot of bats, a lot of cats, a lot of pumpkins. But I love to do that. And then I like, as soon as it's October, I feel like my power begins to like grow, and I start to like morph into my final form for the year.
Right.
So I start wearing all my favorite Halloween clothes. This is my newest, Molly, you're in the way. This is my newest addition to my collection. And I start I paint my nails a lot darker, and if I'm going somewhere, I'll wear like really dark lipstick or something. I just feel like I'm dressing the part. My metamorphosis is almost complete. So yeah, I love it. It's my favorite. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I love it. It should be
a holiday. It should be an actual holiday.
Yeah.
Where you get time off of work and it's a big deal.
Jesus, it's way more fun than Christmas. Christmas is all stressful and shit.
Well, everybody's in such a great mood. It's all happy. You're not buying presents for people you don't like. And it's just one day, and everybody just seems so happy.
It's fun and silly.
Fun. It is. It's just ridiculous, but it's fun.
It's just spooky and chill. I like it.
Ryan asked, or maybe it was Born Distracted. No, Born Distracted asked, Lanie, do you dress your dog up?
I have. Mm-hmm. I don't often because Molly doesn't really go trick-or-treating because it kind of stresses her out. But I have dressed her up before. She does have a Tinkerbell costume that she looks very, very cute in. We went, when I lived at this one apartment complex, they did like a Halloween party for like the pets in the community we had a dog park like at our apartment complex. So she and I went as Tinkerbell and Peter Pan, and we won. So suck on that.
Cool.
Nice.
But yeah, I have dressed her up before. She does have a Halloween sweater. My dog is kind of weird. I have never been the person that like buys a bunch of clothes for her dog. That's just not my thing. And she's also like 45 pounds. So, but she really enjoys certain kinds of like animal clothing. Mm-hmm. So like she has a pair of like Christmas pajamas that someone got her that she really likes. Like she legit enjoys being in them. So she likes to wear her Halloween sweater if it's chilly enough for it. And then somebody gave us this, it's like a shirt and it has like a jack-o'-lantern face on the back. So she really likes that one too. So, but yeah, I've dressed her up in costume before, but mostly she just likes to be around the house wearing like a sweater and chilling out. So she's a weirdo. I have thought about dressing her up as a raptor.
Oh, jeez.
And going as anybody really from Jurassic Park. Well, she is she's mommy's little velociraptor. So if I consider that. Murray, however, would die if I ever tried to dress him up as anything. Wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, my cats would not be like we've had like I said we've done costumes for Max and Ruby.
Can I share, by the way, my favorite Ruby costume?
Which one?
This is the Kung Fu costume.
Yes, the Kung Fu.
That's my favorite one.
Kung Fu Basset Hound was pretty entertaining.
That was adorable.
That sounds cute.
My God, it was so cute. Yeah, I know. You're just a little weirdo. She likes wearing clothes.
I had a Chihuahua that used to like to wear, like he had a sweater that he loved to wear. So
she fucking loves it. She gets so into it. I think it's because she knows she's so cute. Like when she's wearing her little outfit, like she loves it. I know. You're a weirdo.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show pretty much for the evening. Let's go ahead and move on to our picks and pans for the week, or every 2 weeks, I should say, since we've moved to bi-weekly. What do you want to go first?
I'll go. All
right, Lanie, what is your pick and or pan, or both?
I have a pick because I saw this today and thought it was fucking hilarious. So y'all know that movie that's coming out? It's got like Kate Winslet and someone else in it. It's The Mountain Between Us.
Idris Elba,
thank you. Mm-hmm. I am not going to go see it. I don't need to. But today I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw one of those ads pop up and it just said, spoiler alert, the dog lives. And that was the whole trailer, was talking about like, hey guys, you can totally come see this movie because the dog is going to live until the very end. And that made me so happy that they were smart enough to be like, oh fuck, no one's gonna want to come and see this because they're gonna think the dog's gonna die. Because I'm not gonna. I'll be honest, as soon as I saw a dog in the trailer, I was like, well, no, of course I'm not gonna go watch this.
Yeah,
why on earth would I want to do that to myself? So, but I think it's hilarious that like somebody in their ad, like in their marketing like group that's working for them was like, you know what we should do? So there's literally a whole like collection of trailers for that movie that just talk about how the dog lives.
Yeah,
that's hilarious and actually very smart, to be honest with you.
It's genius. There's like a cougar like in the previews, and I was like, oh fuck, the dog's gonna get eaten. Like I didn't want to see that. I like dogs. I don't like for them to die in movies.
Humans can die. That's fine. I
don't care about that. If a dog or a child is in any way harmed, or a cat, any kind of animal, I am beside myself. I cannot deal. The part in Hocus Pocus where you think Jinx is dead. Well, but yeah, every single time I look for Murray because I'm like, I need to hug my black cat because it's just, I'm gonna cry.
Kris, what is your picking and pan for the week?
So this weekend is Thanksgiving here in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And although Ray has to work, which sucks, it's a jam-packed weekend, and it's not usually this busy. Last night we had dinner with friends. Today we had a couple of friends over with their kids, and then tomorrow I'm going to my mom's, and then Monday, which is the holiday, I'm gonna go to my sister-in-law's. So it's a pick and / pan, because the pan part is like I'm gonna gain 5 pounds because of all the pie and all the stuffing and the turkey.
Whatever.
I know, but I won't care while I'm doing it. This will be like the hangover after. Like on Tuesday, I'm gonna hate myself. I'm going to enjoy it now. And
right,
then,
gotcha.
And then Stranger Things 2 is coming out in a couple of weeks. And it's been...
Oh, real quick, before you... Go on. Sorry.
Logan's very, very excited to watch it. And it's so freaking cute to watch her watch it. Watch the trailers. Like, she can't... She gets so excited. And you just think she's going to burst, and she's just so over dramatic about how much she's excited about it. And it's hilarious. So that's my pick too. I just love watching her watch things that she loves because she gets so excited, so into it. It's adorable. So cute.
The reason I was freaking out is I just remembered that this coming Friday the 13th is the next season, probably a short season, but the next season for Voltron drops.
Oh, she's doing a countdown. I asked her.
Awesome. Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Because I'm counting down as well. I fucking love it.
And that's the thing too. And now she's got this little posse of people who watch Voltron with her. My niece loves it. They binge watched it when she was over babysitting them. And she but she gets so excited. I need to videotape her one of these times because she just gets right into it. And you almost think she's going to cry because she's fangirling so hard.
Nice.
But, it's pretty awesome. She's very 11 and very overly dramatic. The hormones are like fully kicked in right now because she just gets so dramatic about it. It's so cute.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I can't wait for that. And like I said, I was like, when I saw that Voltron was dropping this Friday, I was just like, sweet. Like,
too. I haven't watched this, but I kind of got like I watched snippets of it with the kids, and I thought it was hilarious. It was really funny.
It's really well done. Like the people who are behind it, The Legend of Korra was pretty good. I don't know if I ever completely finished it, but if you have not watched it, go back with your kids and watch because it's from the same people. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay.
It is. It is. Set like it is aimed for kids. It was originally on Nickelodeon, so yeah, there is a lot of that. But then once you start getting into the world building and the storytelling, and just when you start seeing the really cool ideas they come with, where which is why the movie was such a letdown to me, about what all you could do if you could literally control the wind or fire or water or earth. It's just like, and the fact that it's done as a martial arts is just. I loved it. It was a great series. I really need to sit down and watch it with the boys, but it's done by the same people, so there's enough humor in it that adults will enjoy it as well. And Voltron's freaking awesome. Like I would love to lose a little more weight here in the middle and do a killer Voltron costume because that would be awesome. So, my pick for the week, just basically fall into what they were saying in the chat room. I finally got enough money together, by my 3D printing that I ordered and bought this program called Simplify 3D. Now, I had everything I'd read, everyone had said, this will change your 3D printing. This will change your 3D printing. And I'm like, okay, it looks awesome. I'm going to have to check it out. And so I did finally buy. It is no joke. Like I designed everything I've pretty much designed. I tried to make it so that there are very few overhangs at all. Like, because the way that the program I was using, the way it handled overhangs, it would make this little, or it would be taller. It would be a cylinder, but then it'd have this little cone at the top. And that's the only point that it had to basically grab onto for these overhangs. So anytime there was an overhang, if you looked underneath it, like, it just didn't look good. You had to like clean. Well, you know what? I've actually got an example right here. So I've been printing these 3D parts for, these Super Nintendos. And like, this is the okay, so here's the top. Mm-hmm. Looks nice and clean, nice and good. And then when you get to the bottom though, it just doesn't look good. Like, it's very stringy.
Yeah.
And it literally has all these little cones, of points where it helps, with the print. This new software, on the other hand, makes this, it's not solid. It's basically goes back and does kind of this ridge situation, but it creates this ridge and it supports it so well and it snaps right off. I don't know what kind of a calculation they're doing, but it is literally, it's like a feather touch to make sure it's got just enough support and nothing else. And I mean, you can break it off and it just looks, I'm like, wow, I'm just going to have to sand this for like half a second and it's ready to go. Like I am in love with this program. So I'm actually looking at going back, and I've been having conversations with some of the guys in the back channels and stuff about redesigning my Super Nintendo and my Sega Genesis or moving on to some different consoles. Because I'm not afraid of overhangs anymore. I'm not afraid. When I designed the Super Nintendo, here's the lid to it. I designed it so the bottom is completely flat because I did not want to have to deal with having to clean up a bunch of stuff on overhangs. When I redesign this, I don't care. Like it'll be indented and look like more like an actual Super Nintendo case, and because I don't have to worry about that anymore. That is how much this software is already changing my process, and I'm just like, it was worth every penny. Like there's some software you buy and you're like, yeah, this is pretty good. This was totally worth it. So that's my pick for the week. If you would please give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Music. If you haven't already, check us out on YouTube. Like and subscribe to the channel. Really does help us out. We're still gaining YouTube followers. The numbers for the downloads are still going up. More and more people are liking the Facebook page. So we're slowly but surely getting the information out there. We love the people in the chat room. Once again, thanks everyone who shows up. I'd say every week, but we haven't been doing this weekly. We've been doing this bi-weekly. But everyone who shows up, Born Distracted, Ryan, Cyrus now, because he can't make the shows. He's because of his new job right now. And hopefully, I do want to get him back on here. We do miss you, Cy. it just, we appreciate y'all being in the chat room because it adds a lot to the show. I know, they like to bust my chops and this, that, and the other, but I roll with it. So, because, I love you guys. So it's awesome. Lanie, do you know if we're going to get a new episode this month for Epic Rhythm and Brew?
Yes. I have to edit the one that we recorded a little while back. School's been a little bit crazy, but I have to edit. I've got one in the vault that's coming. In fact, I was going to try to get it done this weekend since we have a 3-day weekend. And then we are sitting down to record a new one this next week. And then we should have another one coming very, very soon. In fact, we may throw out a little extra mini episode just because more stuff to say on a topic that we already recorded on. So,
well, there you go. I opted because of the week I had. I opted not to try to finish a video for Epically Geeky Makers, but I do have one I kind of could throw together real quick, and then I do want to talk about the software, whatever. So I may actually have an episode here coming out in the next week or two about that. So the next time we meet will be 2 weeks from now, and we're going to be doing our episode. You will not see these ladies on that episode because we're going to be making our list, the top 5 scariest movies.
No.
Yeah, they won't be on there, but I think Meg said she might show up for that one. And then I've got a friend of mine that has been he's been wanting to be on the show for quite a while. And I think I'm finally going to get him on for that. So, but yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about here in 2 weeks. So as always, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Epically Geeky. And then, of course, the site epicallygeeky.com. Lanie, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at It's a Lanie Bird, and then you can find me over on Epic Rhythm and Brews and Marginally Geeky.
Oh, and we're currently on Marginally Geeky. We're currently reading, if you want to read along with us, we're We Are Legion. I'm sorry. We Are Legion, We Are Bob. And I actually have already reread it again today because it is so good. So
nerd.
Yeah, no, it's really good. So definitely check that out. It is a really good movie. Kris, where can we find you online?
You can find me on Epically Geeky and Marginally Geeky. And I've not read, but I listened to We Are Legion, We Are Bob. And it was so good. Like, I feel like I've got my shit together because I already have the next book read. So, but it's really good. And I want to, and the kids were listening with us, and they didn't get to hear the end of it. So just because of that, we should just listen to it again so they can hear the ending.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
The problem, okay, that's the other show. I don't even want to go into it. So let me just say, I'm going to be looking at the budget carefully, and if I've got the money, I'm going to be buying at least 2 more credits for Audible because I really feel like I have to keep rolling with this series. So, yeah. As for me, you can follow my individual wacky adventure online at Optimus Gene on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. For everyone on the site, have a good night.